Okay, let's dive into this explainer because today we are looking at a massive shift happening right in front of us. We're talking about India's new AI builders. If you've been paying any attention to the tech ecosystem lately, you know things are moving crazy fast. But the global tech race is rapidly, almost violently, moving from just chatting with artificial intelligence to actively building with it. It's like a giant puzzle being rearranged in real time. We're not just talking about a cool new feature here or some slight upgrade to our existing tools. No way. We're witnessing a complete reimagining of how digital products are created, and India is sitting right at the absolute center of this transformation. To really wrap our heads around this shift, let's step into the shoes of a young developer sitting in Bangalore right now. Her morning looks completely different than it would have, say, just 2 short years ago. The pace is literally breathless. At 9 a.m., she opens up ChatGPT to untangle a complex business problem. By 9:30, she's already moved over to Claude to logically map out her system architecture. At 10, she brings in Gemini and Grok just to gather some contrasting perspectives on her approach. 10:30 rolls around and she's running these rapid iterative coding experiments using DeepSeek. The tools are essentially talking to each other through her guidance. And then, the culmination of the morning. At 11 a.m., she opens Codex or a similar AI coding agent, and she doesn't sit there writing hundreds of lines of boilerplate syntax. Instead, she just gives a simple 2-word command: build it. This multi-tool, incredibly fluid workflow is the daily reality for the new generation of India's AI builders. Section 1. From chatting to building, the next evolution. The global AI race has completely evolved. It's no longer about who has the absolute best, most conversational chatbot. It's now fiercely about who empowers people to build the absolute fastest. Just look at the sheer scale of this ecosystem to understand the momentum we're dealing with here. We've got ChatGPT sitting at a staggering 1.1 billion monthly users, Gemini right on its heels at a billion, Claude with 245 million, DeepSeek at 97 million, and Grok at 64 million. The scale of adoption is just astronomical. I want you to really let those numbers sink in for a second. That is a massive chunk of the global internet population integrating these models into their daily lives. We have literally never seen technology adopted at this blistering pace in human history. But amidst all those billions of casual chatters, we have a very specific, highly targeted signal cutting through the noise. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this massive data point: 20 million weekly users on Codex. Why does that matter? Because those 20 million people aren't just asking for dinner recipes or writing polite emails. This massive cohort of weekly users represents a monumental shift. It's the move from AI acting as an answer engine to AI acting as a full-blown production engine. Section 2, the AI production engine. Beyond asking questions. We've moved way beyond the era of the simple query. Developers and creators are no longer just asking, hey, what's the answer to this? Instead, they're demanding full websites, highly functional mobile applications, complex back-end APIs, and intricate data pipelines to be built from scratch. Section 3, the debugging paradox. The catch in the code. Now, before we assume human developers are about to pack up their keyboards for good, we need to pause. Because there's a fascinating contradiction here that completely shatters the myth of AI entirely replacing human software engineers. Take a look at this staggering projection. By the end of 2026, it's estimated that 60% of all new code could be AI generated. That means in just a very short amount of time, well over half of all the software being written worldwide will be generated by a machine rather than a human typing away line by line. Yet, right alongside that massive projection, we have this vital and honestly slightly painful statistic. 45% of developers say that debugging AI-generated code can actually be more time-consuming than debugging human-written code. Let's just slow down and really think about the nuance of this headache for a second. The code is written almost instantly by the AI, which feels like magic, right? But fixing it, untangling its strange alien logic and making it actually work perfectly within an existing system, that takes significantly longer. It can be incredibly frustrating. But this paradox tells us something deeply important. AI does not eliminate the need for developers. Rather, it completely shifts what we as humans need to be remarkably good at. The paradigm has completely flipped. You see, the old competitive advantage was simply knowing how to write code, spending years memorizing syntax, studying algorithms, and learning logic structures. But the new advantage? It is all about knowing exactly what to build in the first place. It's knowing how to expertly instruct the AI. It's knowing how to rigorously validate the output it gives you because, as we just discussed, it's going to make mistakes. It's knowing how to secure that code, seamlessly integrate it into complex enterprise systems, and ultimately translate all of that technical execution into actual tangible business value. The value has moved entirely from typing to thinking. Section 4, Rise of the AI Builder. India's opportunity. Let's move to and see how this builds into an incredible macroeconomic shift, because India's millions of developers are perfectly positioned to seize this exact moment in history. When you combine India's massive talent pool with these new AI coding agents, something magical happens. One single developer can now effectively operate like an entire small product team. This empowers a totally new category of professional, the AI builder. An AI builder isn't simply someone who passively uses a chatbot. No, they are active directors. They challenge, verify, and improve AI outputs to rapidly prototype and automate, rather than just blindly accepting whatever the machine spits out. An AI builder knows how to perfectly balance this exact formula: human intelligence plus AI models plus data plus software plus automation plus deep business understanding. So the crucial point is that perhaps the single most important skill in this entire formula is knowing when not to trust the AI. Actually, scratch that. It's absolutely the most important skill. Because the future doesn't belong to people who just copy and paste AI-generated answers. It belongs to those who act as highly critical directors and editors. The human provides the taste, the direction, and the quality control. The AI simply provides the raw horsepower. Section 5. India's next AI unicorn, the future ecosystem. Now let's project this individual evolution onto the macroeconomic scale of India's massive technology and startup ecosystem. For a very long time, the anxiety-inducing question hanging over the tech industry has been this: will AI take our jobs? I want to give that question the space it deserves right now, because it is a totally valid fear. When you can literally watch an AI generate a functioning website in a matter of seconds, it's pretty easy to feel entirely replaceable. But based on everything we've unpacked in this explainer today, that is simply no longer the right question to be asking. It looks at the future through a lens of scarcity rather than abundance. The much more interesting and highly motivational question we should be asking is this: what can Indian builders create when every single builder has an entire AI team sitting right beside them? India isn't just becoming a bigger market for consuming artificial intelligence. India has the potential to become one of the world's absolute biggest AI building ecosystems. We're moving from a nation of IT services to a nation of AI-powered product creators. And this brilliantly illustrates what the immediate future of startups looks like. The next great Indian unicorn company might not be built by an army of thousands of human developers sitting in massive office parks. It might be started by a hyper-focused, incredibly talented human startup team of just 5 people, completely empowered and amplified by an AI workforce team of 50. The leverage here is unprecedented. The barriers to entry have never, ever been lower. The AI era belongs entirely to the builders. So my final question to you is, are you ready to become one?